All right, Seahawks Nation, this might be the most emotional and consequential moment in franchise history, not just on the field, but off it too. What's up, Seahawks family? Victor here, and today we're talking about two seismic storylines that could reshape the Seattle Seahawks forever. One involves a potential historic change in ownership right after the Super Bowl. The other? The very real end of an offensive era that helped get this team back to the biggest stage in football. Let's start with a bombshell. According to ESPN's Brady Henderson, the Seattle Seahawks could be put up for sale after Super Bowl LX. Let that sink in. This franchise, owned by the Paul Allen estate since 2018 and overseen by Jody Allen, could soon change hands. And we're not talking small numbers. Forbes already values the Seahawks at $6.6 billion, but with the explosion of NFL media deals and global growth, that price could soar to $7 to $8 billion. That's potentially one of the largest franchise sales in sports history. And here's what makes it even crazier. This is happening while the Seahawks are thriving. Consistent playoff appearances, one of the strongest home field advantages in the NFL at Lumen Field. The legendary 12th man, widely considered one of the most passionate fan bases in sports. A stable football operation led by John Schneider and Mike McDonald. And a quarterback in Sam Darnold who just guided this team back to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2015. This isn't a franchise in decline. This is a franchise at its peak. And that's exactly why the timing matters. Let's talk about the second domino, because success always comes with a cost in the NFL. It's looking more and more likely that Clint Kubiak's time in Seattle is coming to an end after the Super Bowl. Reports strongly suggest the Raiders have zeroed in on him as their next head coach. And honestly, that's not surprising. Under Kubiak, the Seahawks finished among the league's most efficient offenses, leaned heavily into the run game, and maximized play action in a way that perfectly suited Sam Darnold's strengths. And now the big question becomes, what's next? With the coaching cycle already deep into the offseason, options are limited. But one name stands out as a potential home run replacement. Love him or hate him as a head coach, the track record as an offensive coordinator is undeniable. He helped Ryan Tannehill play elite football in Tennessee, reached an AFC championship game, and built offenses around physical run games and deadly play action. Sound familiar? Because that's exactly how Seattle is built right now. He would be stepping into the best quarterback situation he's ever had, with a roster designed for his philosophy. And let's not forget, the Seahawks already tried to hire him once before. This reunion makes a lot of sense. So think about where we are, Seahawks fans. 1 week away from the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots, a chance to bring home the second Lombardi Trophy in franchise history, and at the same time, the possibility of a new owner, a new offensive coordinator, and a new chapter for this team. This isn't just a game. This is a crossroads. We're breaking all of it down today. What a potential sale means for the future, why timing matters, how losing Kubiak could impact the offense, and whether the option being considered really is the best option moving forward. Before we dive in, do me a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update, and only hit subscribe if you're a true fan, someone who believes this team is winning the Super Bowl and trusts the future of the Seattle Seahawks. History is knocking. Let's get into it. 12's Nation, this one is huge. What if I told you that the Seattle Seahawks could be playing in the Super Bowl and heading toward one of the biggest off-field changes in NFL history? We're talking about championships, legacy, billions of dollars, and the future of this franchise we all love. So if you're a true 12, smash that like button and subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update right now. And especially hit subscribe if you believe the Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl this year. Let's talk about what's really going on in Seattle. Seahawks potentially for sale. According to ESPN's Brady Henderson, the Seattle Seahawks could be put up for sale after Super Bowl LX. Yes, after the biggest game of the year. Right now, the team is owned by the estate of Paul Allen, who passed away in 2018. Since then, the franchise has been overseen by his sister, Jody Allen, following the guidelines laid out in Paul Allen's will. And here's where things get wild. The Seahawks are currently valued at around $6.6 billion. But if the team is officially put on the market, that number could jump to $7 to $8 billion. That would make Seattle one of the most expensive franchise sales in NFL history. Why? Because the NFL is absolutely exploding in value. Massive TV contracts, international growth, and Seattle's brand is strong. This isn't just a football team. This is a global sports powerhouse. Front office and stability. Now, let me be clear as a fan. Nothing is confirmed yet. The Seahawks front office has not officially announced a sale, and internally the message is all about stability and focus. That matters, especially with John Schneider running football operations and Mike McDonald leading this team on the sidelines. This isn't a dysfunctional franchise. This is one of the most consistently competitive teams in the NFL over the last decade. On-field success and the 12th man. And look at what's happening on the field. The Seahawks are back in the Super Bowl for the first time since 2015. They're dominant at Lumen Field, one of the loudest stadiums in the league. And the 12th man? Still one of the most respected fan bases in all of sports. Seattle has made the playoffs consistently, built a culture of winning, and remained relevant year after year. That's a huge reason why potential buyers would line up instantly. Sam Darnold in Super Bowl LX. Now let's talk about the man leading this run. Sam Darnold, say what you want, but Darnold has been the quarterback of a Super Bowl team. He's been efficient, calm under pressure, and he's delivered when it mattered most. On February 8th, the Seahawks faced the New England Patriots in Super Bowl LX, a rematch with history, a chance to win the second Lombardi Trophy in franchise history after the legendary 2014 title, founded in 1976, one Super Bowl win. Now, a chance to cement a new era. What this moment really means. This is what makes this moment so powerful. The Seahawks are standing at a crossroads, a chance to lift another Lombardi Trophy, a possible historic ownership change, and a future that could be shaped for the next 20-30 years. Winning the Super Bowl doesn't just mean a ring, it could define the value, the legacy, and the direction of this franchise forever. As a fan, I'll say this. If the Seahawks are going to be sold, there's no better way to pass the torch than as champions of the NFL. Now, I want to hear from you, 12s. Do you think the Seahawks will win Super Bowl LX? And how do you feel about the possibility of the team being sold after the season? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update if you believe Seattle is bringing the Lombardi Trophy back home. All right, 12s, buckle up, because this is one of those moments where success comes with a price. The Clint Kubiak era in Seattle is likely coming to an end right after the Super Bowl. Yeah, it hurts. But this is the NFL. When you win, people come for your coaches. Before we get into who could replace him, do me a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update, and if you truly believe the Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl, this channel is your home. Now let's talk about what's next for this offense. The cost of success. Life after Klint Kubiak. According to multiple reports, the Las Vegas Raiders have zeroed in on Klint Kubiak as their next head coach, and all signs point to him taking the job after the Super Bowl. Unfortunate? Absolutely. Surprising? Not at all. This is what happens when your offense works, when your quarterback thrives, and when you're playing on the biggest stage in football. The problem is timing. By the time Kubiak's departure becomes official, it'll be late in the coaching cycle. Most teams already filled their coordinator spots weeks ago. That limits Seattle's options, but it doesn't eliminate them. And that brings us to one name that stands out above the rest. The favorite to replace. Kubiak, Arthur Smith. I'm just going to say it straight up, 12s. Arthur Smith would be a home run hire. Right now, he's reportedly set to become the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. But here's the key detail. The contract reportedly isn't signed yet, and even if it is, buying him out would be easy for an NFL team like Seattle. Let's be real. If the Seahawks call, Arthur Smith picks the NFL over college football every single time. Why Arthur Smith makes so much sense? Let's rewind. As offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans, Arthur Smith turned Ryan Tannehill into an elite quarterback, built one of the most efficient play-action offenses in the league, led the Titans to an AFC championship game. From 2019 to 2020, Tennessee ranked top 5 in rushing efficiency, top 10 in scoring offense, top 5 in play-action success rate. That's not luck. That's system plus identity. Now yes, his head coaching stint in Atlanta didn't work out, but context matters. He never had a quarterback. He dealt with roster limitations, and even in Pittsburgh, with a roster that didn't fit his scheme, he still managed respectable offensive production. Fit with the Seahawks offense. Here's where I get excited. Arthur Smith loves to run the ball and punish defenses with play action. Sound familiar? That fits Seattle's DNA perfectly. And here's the biggest difference. Sam Darnold would be the best quarterback Arthur Smith has ever coached. Let that sink in. Darnold has thrived in structure, timing, and rhythm, exactly what Smith's offense is built on. Pair that with Seattle's run game and offensive line foundation, and you're talking about a system that can dominate time of possession and control games. And remember this, the Seahawks already tried to hire Arthur Smith 2 off-seasons ago, but lost him to the Steelers. This time, the timing, the roster, and the opportunity might finally line up. What this means going forward. If Clint Kubiak does leave, and all signs say he will, the Seahawks don't need to panic. They need experience, identity, and adaptability. Arthur Smith checks every single box. He knows how to build around his quarterback, maximize the run game, create explosive plays off play action, adjust when personnel changes. That's how you stay competitive in today's NFL. Now I want to hear from you. 12s. Would you like Arthur Smith as the next Seahawks offensive coordinator? Or do you think Seattle should look elsewhere? Drop your takes in the comments, hit that like, and subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update if you believe the Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl this year. This is Victor, riding with this team no matter what. Go Hawks!